Yeah, hello, good morning. My name is Okachukwu Stanley, and I'm here to present um, an online training on current good manufacturing practices. This training is being sponsored by Kelani Consulting Services, subsidiary of Kelani Engineering Services Ltd, as a way of supporting their clients. Because if the client succeeds, then the company will also succeed. If the client fails, the company will fail. Our interest in Kelani is not just to sell machines and do business with you. No, we provide the machineries, the equipment, and the support system necessary for your company to grow. So as part of the packages that Kelani Engineering Services have for their clients, we are presenting to you a very important aspect of manufacturing, of production uh, uh, prerequisite for us to succeed. So today we will be looking at current good manufacturing practices. And as I said before, my name is Okachukwu Stanley. I am an expert in good manufacturing practices, SCCP, QMS, and GHP. I am also the special project manager for Kelani Consulting Services and the lead consultant for the Oars Machineries Ltd. I have so many years of experiences, having worked in the food and beverage industries, part of which is Aquarafa, prestigious Aquarafa investment in Enugu. So I hope that you will enjoy our training this morning. Feel free, feel at home, take notes of all you need to know. And if you have questions, also pen them down at the end of the training. We also have provisions for questions and answers. Without wasting much time, on our screen, you can see the outline for the presentation, looking at definition of cGMP, systems and classification of cGMP, and then conclusion. The objective of the training, as I said, is we want to reawaken our consciousness on the need for a safe and healthy manufacturing operations. Because when you talk about and whatever products your company is bringing, your interest is satisfying your customers. And whatever you produce that creates a problem for your customer, of course, they won't come back to you. And also, you know, with this whole COVID-19 pandemic, this, that, lockdown, everything, many of us went to sleep. So that is why at this point in time, Kelani Consulting Services deem it fit to bring up this training to us again as a way of reawakening our consciousness. Not that we don't know it before, but there is need for training and retraining, awakening and reawakening of what we know or what we used to know. That is the essence of this training. So without wasting much time, we look at what is good manufacturing practice. On the screen, you can see that good manufacturing practices are those acts or attitudes of ensuring a consistency in production standards as stated in the regulations guiding the industry. Every industry all over the world, with Nigeria in mind, have regulatory bodies that regulate their activities. For us here, we have the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON. We have the NAFDAC, National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, whose on whose desk lies the control and regulation of industrial activities. For NAFDAC, they are concerned mostly on anything that has to do with food, that has to do with drugs, has to do with cosmetics. Then for SON, SON is all round, because in part of the operations, they have the food aspect. They also look at the equipment with which these things are done. In the course of our presentation, we are going to, when we get to equipment and facilities, we are going to stress it also. So that is what GMP aims at doing, making sure that those set standards are adhered to strictly for us to give out the expected quality product, the best value for money for every of our customers. Then looking at it, you see that we attach C to it. C means current, because we used to know what GMP is, yes. But most times, as things change, we also change with change. As we say, the only thing constant in life is change. So current GMP is looking at GMP in the 21st century. So the next on the outline, we're going to look at the systems. There are 4 systems or elements to be considered looking at GMP. The first of it is the quality system. Looking at the screen, you can see the 4 elements we're going to consider while trying to talk about cGMP. You have the quality system, you have the material system, you have the production system, you have the facility and equipment system. We go straight to quality system. Under quality system, you know that quality system is a very broad area. As I said, it is a management part of every establishment. That is why it's a course of its own called quality management system. And you know that whatever you are giving to your customers must be the best value for their money. So here we're going to look at 3 areas. One is the personnel. Second is the laboratory analysis or laboratory control. The third one is documentation. Now let's look at the personnel. Looking at the personnel, manufacturing companies are not just like banking sector. Like in the banking sector, you know that regardless of your discipline, banks will bring you in and they will just tell you what to do, train you, and you are good to go. But in manufacturing companies, in industries, there is need for specialties, because you must get the round peg into the round hole, else you make mistake. So you must make sure that the best qualified of personnel is put in the best position. Error in recruiting the wrong person will create a problem that you may not control easily in your establishment. Now, outside recruiting the right person, you also look at training, because most times nobody is a paragon of knowledge. And the essence of training is we have to sharpen and resharpen whatever we know. There's something they taught us some time ago in training. They say you need to unlearn for you to relearn. If you don't unlearn what you use, that's why you see cGMP. You have learned about GMP. Now cGMP, you need to unlearn GMP for you to relearn cGMP so that you can move in the 21st century. So when you get the right person in the right position, you should make sure that you create avenues for such persons to learn, just like what Kelani Consulting Services is doing right now, providing free training at this moment now. So any of your personnel, if you are the MD or the GM or whoever that is in charge of your company, it is wise that at the end of this training, get your personnel on board. Let them also learn what you have learned. Outside training them, You also give them responsibilities, because responsibilities will bring out the best in them. That is about quality. First, get the right person in the right position. Secondly, make sure you give them adequate and necessary training for them to perform. Then give them responsibilities due to their office. Then the second area we're going to look at the quality system is the laboratory control and analysis. This is a very important area in any manufacturing industry. First of all, we have to look at what comes into the companies. You know, there is this computer jargon, they say garbage in, garbage out. It applies in everything we do in life. It is your ability to get it right from your materials will make it easier and better for you to get the quality you expect at the end of the process line. So the laboratory control and testing is very, very important. Right from the reception of the raw materials, there must be a lay down specifications where we have SON regulations, we have NAFDAC regulations, depending on the industry you're operating. Then in each industry, you should also have your in-house standards, because you must know that there are lots of competitors in the same industry with you, and you must have an added advantage with which your product will be preferred to the other person's product. So you must make sure that these standards are adhered to. And at the point of reception, it is those in the quality control or quality assurance unit that will go and verify what has been brought. Does it meet specifications? And if it meets specifications, then we will accept. Otherwise, we will reject. It is very, very, very important. And outside this, every single thing that is done, as long as quality assurance is concerned, must be on record. In quality assurance, we don't talk about, I think, I thought, no. Everything must be on record. If it is not written down, it does not exist, because you are not the only person on the team. The next person taking over from you should be able to go through the records and see, yes, this is what has been done. This was the problem encountered. This was what we were able to do. Now, from here now, I cannot continue. These products were brought in, but they were not in good shape. They were below our specifications, and they were rejected. So that is what should be done. This is on the part of raw materials. Outside raw material, now look at the in-process quality control and assurance and the analysis. When you have received the raw materials and they are good, and they have been issued to the production line, the quality assurance team responsible for the laboratory control and analysis should also monitor every single process. As I said at the beginning, our subsequent training, when we look at HACCP, we're looking at those points at which every single part of the process line must be verified. So it is the work of this quality assurance team to check all those what we call in-process analysis. Because you may get a good raw material, but along the line of production, something may go wrong. Just like when you are cooking soup and you are answering your phone call. You may, at the end of answering the phone call, maybe something good or something bad, you may forget that you have added salt into the soup. And you will now go and add another salt again. Of course, that food will be salty and you can't eat it again. Did you add salt? The answer is yes. But is it in the right proportion? The answer is no. Is the food good? The answer is no. The same thing in process line. That is why in-process analysis and control is very, very important. So it is the work of the quality assurance team to monitor all those in-process activities to see that everything remains within the specification. And once these things are done, they must be recorded. Another area of the quality assurance system or laboratory control analysis is what we call shelf life or retained samples protocol. You know, every product has a shelf life. So on the quality assurance team or part of the lab control and analysis, they should be able to have what we call an area, strictly a very large space, strictly meant for shelf life. This shelf life area is where you get those products, those finished products, and keep them, subjecting them to the same condition at which they are kept in the open market. For example, when you get something like your yogurt, which you know, or something like your vegetable oil, for example, vegetable oil that you know that is fortified by vitamin A. I know that vitamin A is denatured by direct sunlight. And you now go get your vegetable oil. Keep your vegetable oil in a very conducive environment. And you check it afterwards, and there is still vitamin A. But right there in the open market, where they bring it out in the open, there is sun, there is rain. After a while, test for vitamin A, you won't see it again. The same thing goes like for some food like yogurt and some other beverages. That is why when you are doing your shelf life, you must do it in the open. If your products are kept in the open, your shelf life must be in the open, but barricaded so that nobody can go there except those who are assigned to go there. So you must have that shelf life area. And there must be return samples. Why this thing help you, we talk about return sample or shelf life, is that it gives you room to monitor your product from the point of production to the end of the shelf life. If your product is to last for 1 year, if your product is to last for 10 years, if your product is to last for 5 years or 3 months, depending, or 7 months, depending on your product you are into, you must have a retained sample so that when a customer calls in to say, this product you supplied us so and so time is having an issue, all you need to do is to tell them, okay, your people will go there, get the necessary information about that product, the batch number, the date of production, the lot number, depending on the product you are into. When you get all these things, you will be able to look at what you have in the retained sample, or even in your shelf life area, and compare it side by side to see if it is giving you the same result. If it's giving you the same result, that means something is wrong from somewhere in-house. If it's otherwise giving you a different result, you have to look at maybe the condition your customers subjected those products. Because sometimes some customers may get products that are meant to keep in a cool, dry place, and they keep it elsewhere. And you don't expect that product to last up to that shelf life. So when you have these retained samples, you have your shelf life area, it gives you to monitor your products so that when there is a report from the market, it gives you the opportunity for you to verify or to say, yes, that this is true. This fault is from us or from the customers. Even though you may not voice it out to the customer to blame them, no, but you being a quality person, you have known where the problem is coming from. And you'll be able to advise whoever that is responsible, whether the customer or the sales unit or the customer care unit, you'll be able to advise them properly so that they will educate the customer on how best to handle those products. And also, part of the laboratory control analysis is what we call the equipment calibration and maintenance. It is very important that the equipment you use to make sure that your standards are adhered to are calibrated and maintained as regular as possible. Because most times you will discover that for example, as little as your pH meter, depending on your industry, or your caliper, or any instrument you are using, even your ammeter, you may be having a wrong reading because you have failed to calibrate, even your weighing balance. Because your weighing balance, or most of these parameters, most of these instruments are affected in one way or the other. For example, you are placing your weighing balance on a surface that is not smooth, or on a surface that have vibration on it, or at the end of weighing, you keep it tomorrow, you weigh again. Possibility of having a false result or inaccurate result is very high. That is why, for example, when you are buying a weighing balance, there is already a standard weight with which you are given. That will help you to calibrate and recalibrate your equipment. And once you do this, you must also record. And once there is error in one way or the other, there is need for you to maintain your equipment. Just like those who are working in CSD plants, you know that, like the one you used to check your CO2 level and other stuff. If you don't calibrate often, of course, you may have problem, and you need to maintain that always. Otherwise, you have problem. So these are a few areas you have to look at in your laboratory control and analysis. Then the next area, remember, all we are talking about is quality system. So the last area in the quality system I'm going to talk about is documentation. I said initially, whatever that is not written does not exist as long as quality system is concerned. Everything that you do in a manufacturing company must be recorded. There must be records because of continuity, because nobody dies with the company. You come, you work, you resign, or you retire, and you go. Somebody else comes, takes over that your office, and the person cannot just start from nowhere. The person needs to start from somewhere. The person needs to look at what has been done. And part of this importance of documentation is that in the course of production, problems, challenges come up, and we do what we call troubleshooting. And when you do troubleshooting, at the end of the day, you're able to resolve the problem and you get the records down. Tomorrow, you are no longer there. Somebody else comes in. Such problem may come in again. And because there is a record, it will no longer be difficult. Those materials, those resources that were wasted when you were troubleshooting, when that problem came up initially, will not be wasted again. Once, what they need to do just to go to record and say, we have seen this before, this problem has occurred before. So what I need to do now is just for us to just go to the record, see what was done when that problem happened, and just apply it. Bam, the problem is solved. That is the essence of recording. And also, you also know that, for example, those in the lab, you have done, you are supposed to do an hourly check of a particular product, and you don't record. Maybe you have gone for lunch. Another person comes in, or your boss comes and says, hello, mister, have you checked this for so and so time? You say yes. He says, where is it? Sorry. Your boss has every right to fire you because there is no evidence that you did that. And the only evidence is you have it on paper. You have it on paper. And in the course of work, closure time may catch up with you, and you may not continue. And you need to go. What you need to do is just to record what you have done, the extent you have gone, so that the next person coming up to take over the next shift will know what happened, what had been done, and where you stopped, and be able to continue from there. That is the essence of documentation. It is very, very important. At the same time, as part of quality, you know that every single product that you release into the market, you must have the records of your customers. Very important. Because when problem comes up, there is need for us or for the company to recall those products. And how can you recall products in the blind or in the dark? It's not possible. But because you have a good distribution system, records are kept. And a customer A calls you from zone B and says, this product you supplied this so and so time is having some problems. And somebody is sent there to pick the information concerning that product, the batch number, or the lot number, the date of production, and all those you have. Once you get this, you come home, look at your system, distribution system, you will know that this product was supplied to customer A, customer B, customer C, customer D on so and so date. The next thing is, hello customer A, hello customer B, hello customer C, hello customer D. Please, we just got an information that this product is having problem. Please, anyone within your reach, withdraw. We are coming to take it up. That is what we call SOP for recall of products. And it is a quality system. So if you don't have records of who and who you supplied your product, who and who bought your product, and an issue comes up, how do you recall this product? It becomes nearly impossible for you. That is the essence of documentation. Also, you look at some products may be what we call out of specification or out of trend, OOS or OOT. But because there is records about these products, information about them, it helps you, it makes the work easier for you. That's what we talk about, deviations in products. Because you have records, you have documented every single action, both from material reception to finished product and supply. It makes it easy. You look at the root cause, what you call the root cause analysis. You're able to analyze the root cause. Where is it coming from? And when you have analyzed the root cause, you'll be able to take corrective actions. Anyway, I'll talk about it later. What we call CAPA. Corrective actions, preventive actions. You cannot take corrective actions or preventive actions when there is no records. So documentation is a very important aspect of quality system. And it is the most difficult aspect of quality system. Because if you are the head and you don't effect it, I bet you your subordinates will not do it. Because it is very, very difficult for most people to record their activities. They can do it, yes, and they will do it well, yes, but there will be no record for it. When you now ask them, they will now tell you, I think I did, I thought I did, all those things comes up. So you must enforce that documentation is taken very well. Now, let's look at the next system. The next system we are going to consider is the material system. When you look at the material system has to do with every single material being used in production. Here, you consider the acceptability and the rejection levels of the material supplied and the supplier too. That is what we talk about in material system. I told us initially, garbage in, garbage out. You get it right at the initial stage, you get it right at the finish point. You get it wrong at the initial stage, you get it wrong at the finish point. In material system, there must be a protocol on what to receive, what to reject, who to supply, who is not to supply. Where do we keep these things? Are they conducive? Are they not conducive? How do we know rejected materials and accepted materials? From experience, we have come to know that those staff whose work is to accept or reject raw materials are easily bought over. Yes, because you see a vendor who brings in materials. What he or she does is, okay, when they tell him or her that this product does not meet standard, You say, now this is Nigeria now. Our man must survive. This, that. And they will say, okay, no problem. Just give me your account number. And you there and then, they will make a transfer to that your staff. And the staff will look at the money and look at how much am I paid. Definitely, he or she will accept the product into the system and will sign correct or accepted or meet standard. That is why that is a very sensitive position in every establishment. Whoever is to man that office must be a person of integrity, one. Then two, his or her welfare must be taken care of because they are key in that production line. Secondly, any product that is rejected, must be marked. Any product that is rejected must be marked. You don't just reject products and you just keep it anyhow. No. If you reject products, make sure that that product is marked rejected. And there must be a place, there must be a space for that product. There must be a place for that product. So you don't just reject products and keep it, because if you don't keep it at the area where the products rejected are kept, possibility of those rejected products being brought into where other products are very, very high. So there is need for us to make sure that when we create spaces or create space for rejected products, and as you reject them, you mark them as rejected. They must be properly labeled. Also, there must be vendor assessment, what we call auditing of vendors. Whomever that is bringing raw material, no matter how little, to your establishment must be audited annually. The reason is that we know how people do. Somebody may come in because he or she wants to start supplying you raw materials, and they will bring in the best of all raw materials, and they will be consistent for 6 months, 1 year, and they have seen that they have won your trust. Subsequent years, you see them, they will start playing smart. Yes, somebody may now go looking at the price of the raw material, knowing that if I get cheaper ones, you may not know. If I get big, expensive ones, you may not know. And he or she needs to maintain his customer relationship with you. Most times what they do is they will get maybe a bag of good raw material and half bag of bad one, and they will blend them. And because they have won your trust, you don't check them again as you used to check them 1 year ago or 6 months ago. So once the material is coming from them, you accept and you sign and you pay and you drop in your system. It is very, very wrong. You cannot vouch for anybody as long as supply of raw material is concerned, and as long as you need to maintain the quality of your system. So you must, as a matter of importance, annually audit your vendors to be sure that they still keep to those set protocols you gave them at the point of entry. They are very, very, very important. Now, we are going to look at the next system, okay? Production system. As we know, production is said to be complete when it has been taken by the final consumer. You don't just say, we have produced and we have dropped it. No, we have finished. No. All processes from reception of raw materials to processing, to packaging, to distribution and consumption must be structured in such a way that it follows the standard. That is part of the production system. So you must make sure that those standards are adhered to strictly. For example, if you're in the food industry, you know that food, in as much as it can nourish you, it can as well kill you. So it is very, very important that care is being taken when it comes to maintenance of standard in such areas. Likewise, for those in maybe you are producing packing bags or bread wrappers and the rest of them. You sell your nylon to your customers, they use it, they pack their products inside. They cannot walk from here, just 2 steps, the whole thing has opened under. Likewise, the machine. So you must make sure that you maintain the specific or the specified standard for your products. And if you get it wrong from the beginning, then it is hard for you to get it right. You may spend more to get it right at the end of production. And part of it is to make sure that those important areas, there must be sampling points. That is, at the point of receiving the raw materials, you must make sure that the lay-down principles or the lay-down protocols are maintained. In the course of production, what we call in-process analysis, as I said before, must be adhered to. Then distribution must be adhered to. Another area we have to look at is the packaging. I think somewhere in the Holy Book, it was said that you cannot get a fresh wine and put it in an old wine skin. So you see that it also applies in production, because you cannot get a very wonderful food or a very wonderful product and put it in a wrong packaging material. People say that now eye the first chop before mouth chop. So if it does not appeal to the eye, then how can it appeal to the mouth? It is very, very difficult. So you must make sure that the packaging material, this is not the issue of make you enter motor, forget everything derived from motor. It's very, very important. As you are looking at what they wrote on that vehicle, you'll be convinced whether you are to enter the vehicle or not to enter the vehicle. The same thing applies in production and manufacturing. So you must make sure that your containers, your labels, and all that you use in packaging meet standard. It is very, 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 very important. And also, when you reject any of the packaging materials, make sure that they are taken where they're supposed to be and they are properly marked so that they are not reintroduced into the system. The same thing goes with some products that has to do with coding. Coding system is very, very important in production, because I have seen a situation whereby somebody wrongly put up, for example, today is 5th of June, 2020. And maybe because he was in a hurry, he now put 5th of June, 2009. And imagine the distance, 2009, 2020. And this is for a product that will last for 1 year. And the person, you're not producing the product now. So how do you feel? How will you feel, rather, when you get such product? Of course, this is an expired product for every customer that gets such products. So that is why it is very, very important when it comes to production line. Coding system or batching system, depending on how you run your production, is very, very important. So somebody must be there to make sure that these things are done. Also, somebody will now go and get a label, for example, meant for one particular flavor of product and use it for another flavor. Of course, you are causing confusion in the market, because the consumer may be contemplating, is this the new label for this product? Or is this, I'm seeing label for orange. What I'm having in the container is maybe a lime. So how do I reconcile the two? So this is very, very key in production. But we will throw more light when we look at HACCP in our subsequent trainings. Moving forward, let's look at the last system. And the last system we're going to look at now is the facility and equipment system. Facility and equipment system is key when it comes to production. And that is where for us in Kelani, we are there to give you the best. Because here you can see every manufacturing outfit has its own layout that fits its operation. And same thing goes with the equipment sourcing and maintenance. You cannot be building a factory the way you build your house. It's not possible. Your home is not possible. You don't just give anybody, say, I want to start up an industry. Please, you're an architect. Please give me a drawing of an industry. No, that is not done. The person may not have built or drawn an industry or a factory before. But when you approach us in the Kelani Consulting Services, this is an area we will guide you. As we said, every outfit, every industry has a layout, and you must get it right. There must be flow. There's a flow of movement in every industry. There are ways you partition your industry. For example, you build an industry, just go and site your sewage system anywhere. Of course, you will fail approval from regulatory agencies. But when you meet a consulting firm, they will guide you. They will tell you what to do. They will guide whoever that is to draw the structures for you. They will guide you on how to do it. They will mark out partitions for the industry, the layout. They will do it. There are ways you put drainages. You don't just put it anyhow. This is what Kelani will help you do. It is very, very important. That is why you see some people, after building their industries or their factories, they come for inspection. They will tell you, no, do this, do that. You begin to break. So it's not penny wise, man foolish. What you have gotten right at the first instance, now you are redoing it again, and you are going to spend more money and more resources. The same thing with equipment sourcing. Because I have a friend or a brother who is based abroad, who is based in China, who is based in Europe. I need this machine. I want to go into this kind of production. The person will just go and meet one Oyibo man will directly into the industry, and you will just buy any machine. You will come here, you begin to suffer it. Because there are some specifications. There are some specifications for everything. The same thing with materials. Because your brother or your friend who is helping you to source those machines are not experts. So they don't know what works for what. There are some material makeup for machines that are not good for food, that are not good for maybe polythene bag production or takeaway or serviette or tissue paper or any kind of product you are going into. So this is what, for us in Kelani, this is what will help you do. It will guide you. We will talk with you. Now, having looked at what you want to go into, you will look at what and what material, what and what equipment do you need for you to give out quality products. For example, you have a stainless steel material, maybe 306, that you know that come rain comes on, it remains. Somebody will not tell you, hey, I have a very cheap, don't mind those people, their price is very high. They'll go and get a stainless material. not knowing that it is just chromed. And at the slightest exposure, you see rust. And when they come for inspection, there is already rust on it. They will tell you, this thing is not conducive for food. This take away, get something good. Are you not seeing the mistake now? I'm going to spend times two of what Kelani would have helped you do from the beginning. So that is why it is very, very important. In factory layout, in factory design, in equipment sourcing, it is good you look for those that will guide you. Kelani will guide you from design to finishing, to product registration. And we will also train your workers for you. This is what we do. And it is very, very important for good manufacturing practices in this recent world we are into. So you don't just wake up, pick your phone, Google it, and get something, and you just go. Some people will also go and get, they'll go and get maybe their, for example, for those in water production, you just go and get a water treatment system. You don't know the dimension. You don't know the flow rate you need. You don't know maybe how to make that water safe. You just go and get like online dosing system. We are not trained. You don't know capacity you need there. You don't know how to regulate it. Of course, you just shoot yourself right there at the feet. So these things are very, very important that you have to follow them gradually. The quality system, the material system, the production system, the factory, the facilities and equipment system. These things will guide you. They are key elements of current good manufacturing practice. In rounding up, let's look at some areas where we also have some problems. For example, they will reject. You see some industries, products are rejected. Yes, these products are very bad. I have an experience in that. A situation whereby a particular raw material was rejected. Then these ones are okay. But because the company are looking at space, all of them were kept in the same room. You have the bad raw material here. You have the good raw material in the same room. One day, one of the line staff were asked to go and get the raw material. Of course, he's not trained. He just went and saw all of them are the same material. He just picked one and put there and brought it to the hall. Lo and behold, it was a bad raw material. And that was used. I bet you, finished product, worth 5-point-something million was drained out, was completely lost. Just because of a problem of that bag of material is not up to 7,000 naira. 7,000 naira made the company lose 5-point-something million. That is for you to know the essence of this training, because you need to know it. You must create space for this. Once these products are rejected, there must be places meant for rejected products, and they must be moved there. You don't just keep rejected products in the same place with good products. These are part of the mistakes or deficiencies we see in the industry. Also, there must be integrity tests for every single material that is used. For example, you are producing packing bag, which you are going to sell to your customers, and they use it to package their food. How do you check if the sealing is proper? Simple analysis is, if this packing bag is meant to carry a weight of 10 kg, what you need to do is just go and pack sand. Weigh that sand up to 10 kg sand. Just tie it. At interval, when you bring those packing bag, drop the 10 kg sand inside, shake it and know if it will burst. You can blow it and hold it and know if it will burst. These are simple integrity tests that must be done. So most times, our interest is profit making. We don't check what we give out. And at the end of the day, your customer you have supplied such products will get annoyed with you and will not come back to you again. And what you are trying to save, you have lost. Another area also, I've said it before, is that most people who receive those raw materials are easily induced. We normally advise management, make sure that whoever is manning that office is well taken care of and somebody of integrity. Because if you get it wrong at that point, the whole system will be affected. Then we also have to look at we have seen areas where we have the warehousing system. You know, in the warehousing system, in some industries, anything goes. It's a very wrong GMP. There is what we call FIFO. There is what we call LIFO. FIFO says first in, first out. LIFO says last in, first out, depending on the product. There are some products that after production may have some level of challenges that if the shelf life is meant to be like 1 year, they may not stay up to 1 year, but they may stay up to 6 months. So such products, when you bring them in, you don't just go and say because you are practicing FIFO, you keep it when it gets to their turn. No, at this point, what you do is LIFO, last in, first out. So that once it comes in, you dispatch immediately. And you make sure that no customer takes it in bulk. Because there are some challenges that may make such product not to stay up to their normal shelf life of like 1 year. So you just share it out in piecemeal, so that in few days' time, the customers may have exhausted all of them and they have been consumed or cleared out of the market. Otherwise, you practice FIFO, because any product you pack in your warehouse, the longer it stays in the warehouse, you are reducing the shelf life, because you don't know when the customer will sell it. So it is best practice, as you are producing, you are selling. But you know, it's no longer like that, because such industry may not last. There must be a warehouse. And if there's a warehouse, you must have a good warehouse practice. Practicing of FIFO and LIFO, very, very important. Also, we have seen situations whereby in the course of analyzing production or products in the production line, there are some products that at the point of production may have some challenges. Let me use the word challenges. They may not be fit for dispatch at the moment. There may be need for them to be held for some time before dispatch. So it is the work of those in the quality control units to make sure that such products are properly marked. For those products that are good and ready for dispatch, they are marked. Sometimes some people use the color green, means safe for dispatch. Then they use amber for those that are kept on hold. Then red for those that are not safe or not good at all for dispatch. So this color helps in easy identification of the status of products in every production or manufacturing system. These are part of the things we are seeing. Then I must also say that every manufacturing system must have what we call validation program. And we're just going to touch this now. In our subsequent trainings, we are going to dwell on it more expansively. Validation system. Validation program has to do with the process validation, the cleaning validation, and the analytical method validation. There must be a way of validating that, have you done this thing? They say yes. How do you confirm? How do you validate that these things have been done? There must be a way. It's very, very important for you to say that we are practicing cGMP. On a final note, there must be what we call standard operating procedures. cGMP is based on SOP. It makes the whole work easy, because it reduces talking and increases action. Because when you want to, you as the head of the department, you're not always there. And there must be, from time to time, new recruits. And when they come in, you may not be disposed to tell them everything. But because all they need to do has been spelled out word by word, mind you, while spelling them or while writing them out, they must be written in simplest of all English. It must be easy for them to understand. So you write them out word by word, step by step, on what to do on each one. Even as small as cleaning. How to clean production hall. There must be SOP for it. How to go and put generator. There must be SOP for it. All these things we're going to handle when we come to quality management systems. Because when you have all these SOPs spelled out, it makes your manufacturing practices, it makes it easier for you, and it becomes part and parcel of everybody. Each of these SOP, not just written, they must be approved by the management of the company, and there must be spelled out penalties for anybody who defaults. Otherwise, it will just be like every other written material kept or lying around the company. At this point, I will also make us understand the essence of this training. This is first in the series of this training from Kelani Consulting Services. As I said before, we are reawakening our consciousness on how best to go about our activities. And for us here, we are always there to give you the best. We are always there to make sure you get it right from the beginning. You may look at cost at the initial stage, but that which you try to save at the initial stage, you may lose for the life of the company. But get it right at the initial stage, then you are sure that the life of the company is safe and sealed. And your profit margin and your sales will be on a high level, because customers will come to trust you. Customers will come to believe in you because you give them the right value for their money. cGMP is key in every manufacturing company, and it's very, very important that after listening to this video, make sure you share it with every single person working with you. Thank you very much for your audience, and we pray that God will help us to put it into practice. So this is where we draw the curtain for the presentation. At this point, we await your questions. Then, as they come, we answer. Yeah, somebody asked, what's the SOP? I said SOP is just a standard operating procedure by simple definition. It's a step-by-step guide. It's a step-by-step guide on how to do things, when to do things, and who to do it. So it reduces, as I said before, it reduces talking and increases action. So once you have it, for example, maybe where you are weighing your materials, on that table there must be an SOP attached or pasted on that table, so that once you come to weigh your material, even though you have worked there for donkey years, you'll be looking at the SOP just to remind yourself of what you need to do. Because most times you think that you know it, you just bring it and weigh. But when you look at the SOP, you will see that you are told on the SOP that make sure you recalibrate your machine, your weighing material, your weighing scale before you weigh. Every other person will just come and just weigh and just go. SOP will tell you, recalibrate before you weigh. That is the essence of SOP. Then I saw a question here talking about validation program. Validation program, let me use a simple explanation. For example, in cleaning, there is what we call cleaning in place, CIP, and you have the cleaning out of place, COP. Somebody will tell you, Oga, I have cleaned this system, I have flushed the system. So how did you flush the system? Okay, I ran a hypochlorite through it with hot water, and everything is just clear. So you look at it, and Oga will go there and see the system and see that, oh, this system is good. Well, that is by mere looking at the system. So how do you validate? Simple analysis. You just go and get your swab stick, swab the system, take it to the lab and culture it to check if there is growth. If there is no growth, that means the cleaning was perfectly done. But if there is growth, of course it's clear that is not done properly. So that is it. I believe I've answered your question. I think that's the much we can take for now, and we believe that you will continue to do business with us. Thank you very much. Hope to see you some other time. Bye.